You're listening to PetLifeRadio.com.
It's Oh Behave with Arden Moore, the show that teaches you how to have harmony in the household with your pets. Join Arden as she travels coast to coast to help millions better understand why cats and dogs do what they do. Get the latest scoop on famous faces, their perfectly pampered pets, and who's walking who in Rin Tin Tinseltown. From famous pet experts and best-selling authors to television and movie stars, you'll get the latest buzz from wagging tongues and tails. Garner great pet tips and have a doggone fur-flying fun time. So get ready for the pause and applause as we unleash your Oh Behave host, America's pet edutainer, Arden Moore.
Welcome to the Oh Behave Show on Pet Life Radio. I'm your host, Arden Moore. We love to travel. Hey, we love our pets. You put the two together and voila, you have a perfect match. The problem is this. Unless you have the patience and time to take your dog or cat by car coast to coast, your options of quickly getting from one part of the country to the other are quite limited and, I may add, expensive and sometimes scary. Until now. On July 14th, a new airline was born, Pet Airways. Its goal, to offer safe and steady flights for dogs and cats in the United States. It's been about a month since the first Pet Airways flight took off, and here to share more is our special guest, Alysa Binder, co-founder of Pet Airways. Hey, Alysa, I know we have to disclose, confess, or joyously announce that I do have a little connection with Pet Airways, so I'm coming out full disclosure for all you listeners. As many of you know, I wear a lot of collars in the pet world, radio show host, magazine editor, and now I'm helping out Pet Airways as a behavior consultant. I even have my very own Pet Airways uniform that I ironed the shirt very nicely and was trained as a pet flight attendant. So I needed to throw that all out there first, but I love teaming up with you, Alysa, and your husband, Dan, and of course, your very inspirational dog, Zoe. So first question right off the bat, which I'm sure you've not been asked ever, why start an airline when the economy is in a nosedive?
Because us pet lovers and pet parents say there has to be a better way. Mm-hmm. And we want to take our pets with us. And there is never a better time than just to do it now, because we want them to be able to be transported in a safe, comfortable, and caring environment, no matter what's happening.
Well, that's very good. I mean, but you know, you're doing a pretty gutsy broad move because, starting an airline isn't like opening up a little deli down the street or selling, products door to door. I mean, these little puppies cost a lot of money.
Absolutely. But, it's something that if you believe in something and you're passionate about something, you keep the eye on the ball and you just do it. And you don't even think about anything else but doing what you really believe in. Transporting pets is important.
Well, let's trace back a little bit about you and Dan, because you do have some background in helping companies start up, but this is your very first startup. So for our listeners, give us a little background on your resume, if you will.
A little bit. You mean most recent position?
Yeah.
Prior? Well, Dan and I had a consulting company, and we consulted and recruited for high-tech startup companies. So very true, Arden. We feel really comfortable in the startup community and working in startups. And so when we came up with this idea, it wasn't unimaginable that we can build something. And so when we said that there was a need, and we researched that there truly was a need and there wasn't a better choice out there, we said, we're going to build it.
And it seems like what you're filling a niche, because what I'm seeing is, most commercial airlines at best allow one or two pets in the cabin, and they have to be dogs that are tiny or ones that you've already put in the dryer and shrank. I'm just teasing everybody. Chipper's running from my microphone now because she's 60 pounds, not wanting to turn into 20 right now. But or they're in that really mysterious place called the cargo hold. But there's not like a bunch of dogs and cats on every flight. So it doesn't seem like to me you're actually competing with the big boys of the commercial airlines. Is that right?
That is absolutely correct. I mean, we're totally a whole completely different service altogether. Mm-hmm. One is if your pet is small enough to take them in the cabin with you, you should. Mm-hmm. But most pets aren't, or you have multiple pets, or they're going long durations. And as you said, if they're bigger, that's not even an option. So we are offering a completely different service where the pets actually get to fly in the main cabin, where the pet parent would be able to fly in, that's well lit, climate controlled, fresh circulating air, and always a pet attendant watching them at all times. You can't compare the two services. It's just two ways to transport pets.
Right. And I think in seeing the first flight on July 14th, the first passenger, or passenger as you call them, was a French bulldog that the couple actually took the Queen Mary from France and motored over to New York because as a French bulldog with the punched-in face, he didn't get beat up, but the faces like that, those kinds of breeds have trouble breathing in warm weather, and they're not allowed on flights. So they love their dogs so much they took the Queen Mary to get over here, and then they were flying to New York. So it was cool to see this French bulldog pull out of a black Cadillac Escapade. Wow, I think I want to be their pet.
Yeah, me too.
you know, with the little driver and everything. I'm like, woo, rock on! I want to be this dog's.
Oh no! How about that, Queen Mary? Yes.
Yeah, but that showed how much love they had for their pet, and I'm assuming that some of the clients that have booked flights on Pet Airways, not all of them drive Cadillac Escapades with chauffeurs, but the point is, it seems to me that when it comes to our pets, they're a very priceless asset to us.
Absolutely, and you're right. I mean, most of our passengers do not come out of a, let's call it a limo or go on the Queen Mary. Most of them are just like us. We are our own community. We are her pet parents. We get it. They're important parts of our lives that, add meaning to our lives. And of course, we want to take care of them. And by using our service is not necessarily luxury. It's just really taking care of them and making sure that they're safe and they're comfortable and they're cared for. I mean, everything we do is about safety, care, and comfort. And I don't say that lightly. I mean, every decision we make, everybody that is a part of our team, it's all about that because, we keep going back to our dog Zoe and saying, what would we want for her? How do we feel? And that's really what it's all about.
Well, let's talk a little bit about Zoe because I'm in love with Zoe. Zoe is the sweetest little Jack Russell I've ever met, and I even got to take her on potty breaks, so I feel like we've bonded. Let's tell people a little bit about Zoe. What a great little gem of a dog.
Zoe is a really special dog. Zoe is now 17 and a half years old.
Happy birthday.
Yes, and she's, very special. When she was younger, she was a typical gregarious Jack Russell Terrier. And, when we got her, we always wanted to take her with. And when we moved from the San Francisco Bay Area to Florida, we didn't know what to do. And she's a little too big to fit under a seat. And so we said there had to be a better way. And we did put her in the cargo hold with much trepidation. And we really didn't want to relegate her to luggage, but we didn't have much of an option. And when she came out on the other side, she just wasn't herself. And as you met her, she's a very sweet dog, and she was just not herself. And we said, we can't allow other pet parents to feel the same way. I mean, what can we do to work on this and make it better for the pets and the pet parents? Zoe, like I said, is now 17 and a half years old, and her dream of flying, in a safe environment in the main cabin with people who love her and pet lovers around is her dream come true.
Right,
so
very good.
She is our chief pet executive, and she has to okay everything.
Is she asking for a raise in kibble or what,
Oh, yes. She's even asking for, some big biscuits.
That's good. There's an example. You have a golden oldie dog, not an old pet, a golden dog, and I would be beside myself putting a dog of that age in the belly of a plane. I mean, there's so many things unknown about what's going on in the belly of the plane. I had to take a trip once with my 60-pound dog, Chipper, from San Diego to New York, and I thought I was doing the best thing I could possibly do because I had a direct, nonstop flight. So Chipper was only on one plane. I was in the plane, but when she came off that conveyor belt, it's so funny when they come out the conveyor belt, like with all the big bags of golf clubs, you just wonder, did I do the right thing? And they look at you, they love you, but I guess that's the look you saw, right, with Zoe?
Absolutely. And you get this feeling of, what can I do better? as anybody who would love their pet or a loved one. So we understand and feel the same way, and that's why we built and have Pet Airways. And every pet parent we've been talking to has been thanking us, blessing us, and writing. I mean, I've never gotten so many God bless yous in my life, which is a wonderful thing. I should be in good place right now. And it's just been absolutely wonderful and heartwarming. And, every time you say, I'm tired, you read this or you get a call or you look at your Facebook and you say, it's worth it. These pets are worth it. And the pet parents get it and appreciate it. And it's just fabulous.
Well, you literally just exploded out of the box. If you were a horse in a race right now, you would be like 10 lengths ahead of anybody. I mean, I just did a Google search, and you guys have over 840,000 hits just on the term Pet Airways. And that was not probably around, say, 2 years ago. You would have gotten maybe 2, right? So
it's that, right?
Yeah. So explain this whirlwind tornado that has happened just maybe in the last 3 months, because I know you don't get to sleep much. You're in hotel beds all the time, but I have a sense you feel it's worth it.
I absolutely do. Again, when I said, why did we do it? It's passion. It's something we believe in. We really want pets to be transported safely, comfortably in a caring environment. And I mean, our whole being is around this, both Dan and myself. And it's exciting to know that, first of all, it's the first ever, right? And so people are like, okay, what's it about? And what is this? Is this real? Oh my gosh. I always hoped or prayed that something like this would happen. So I think one, is first intrigue, right? And then it's more with on the pet parent side going, tell me more. I want to understand this. And we're really transparent. I mean, if you look at our website, everything is there. And, and if it's not, then we find those, we hear those questions, we answer them, and we try to put it up there. We really believe in the pet community, and we want to support the pet community, and we want to answer everything. Now, of course, we're getting a little slow because, as you mentioned, having that many hits, we're a little overwhelmed right now, and we're trying to work as quickly as possible to get to everything. It's a little impossible right now, but we are striving to do that.
Well, you've got your priorities straight, too. You're making sure the flights are safe on time, and you're getting people's pets from A to B, right?
Absolutely. That's our first priority. And unfortunately, the emails are second, right? But absolutely, every pet has gotten on a flight, has been happy, has been handed over to either the pet parent or a pet loved one or a pet relative, and everything's gone phenomenally well. So you're absolutely right. And so I think it's just a lot of fascination, but it's continuous, and it hasn't stopped, and it's wonderful and like I keep going back to heartwarming because it is. We're humbled by it, but we get it because we're one of the community, and we'd go and probably hit on it a million times too because it's just, I can't believe it's here. It's real.
Well, Dan, let's talk about Dan's background because Dan, like you, has many talents in being a startup, but he also knows how to fly a plane.
He does. Dan is one private pilot. Dan also, as a hobby, builds airplanes. So
That's a
he
hobby.
What a hobby! It's great. I call it his aluminum mistress.
Okay.
So he gets to spend time with his aluminum mistress, but he's really good at it, and he really understands how airplanes work and how to build them and how to work it. So being, his passions of flying and pets, it was just, a no-brainer, actually excitement to say, let's build this, So both of our talents together, I think we work really well together and really believe in it, and our talents are different, that he gets the plane side of it and really loves the plane side of it.
All right. Well, that sounds good. Well, we're going to learn more about Pet Airways and hear just exactly what these planes are all about and where you can get a flight and which hubs are going to right after we pay for this show by taking this commercial break. So sit and stay. We'll be right back.
Time for a pause. 4 furry ones actually sit and stay. Oh, behave. We'll be right back.
Perfume Dog Grooming and Finishing Spray is proud to be a new sponsor of Pet Life Radio. Perfume's super long-lasting sprays are available in 4 unique fragrances. Each perfume spray is fortified with the finest conditioners and detanglers to make combing out your dog more fun. Perfume retails for only $2 per 6-ounce bottle. Perfume is available nationwide at all Dollar General and Family Dollar stores. Why pay more to have your dog smell great? Perfume, Pawfume.
It's time for school for you and your friends, your furry best friends. Train your dog the fun and easy way with Teacher's Pet Sessions. Teacher's Pet host Pia Silvani teaches you step-by-step how to train your dog the fun and easy way. You get 8 30-minute live audio training sessions, complete transcripts of each session, plus a basic training manual to get you and your dog off to a great start. Training begins the moment you bring your dog home. Teacher's Pet Sessions offers positive reinforcement training to shape your dog's behavior and encourages upbeat, enthusiastic responses to ensure that your dog will enjoy learning. Teacher's Pet Sessions dog training is fun at both ends of the leash. So listen, learn, and laugh with your dog with Teacher's Pet Sessions. Get your copy of Teacher's Pet Sessions Volume 1 today. To order, go to teacherspetsessions.com.
Hi, this is Pia Silvani, your host. Bring your dog, tug toy, and treats, and get ready to have some fun.
teacherspetsessions.com.
Greetings, human. What planet am I on?
Welcome to Pet Planet. Here's a copy of Pet Planet Magazine, Florida's most informative and fun pet resource magazine. It features heartwarming stories and informative articles from local and national pet experts.
Excellent.
Pet Planet Magazine offers Operation Planet Rescue, helping rescued pets find new homes. And it's available at 500 locations in South and Central Florida and 24/7 on the internet at petplanetmagazine.com. If you're out and about with your pet, you may be featured in Paparazzi, candid pictures of you and your pet. For up-to-date pet-friendly events, activities, and pet-related services and products, Pet Planet Magazine is your final destination.
I shall take this magazine home with me.
Back to your home planet?
No, to my condo in Boca.
Pet Planet Magazine. Check them out at www.petplanetmagazine.com or 352-394-8578. It's out of this world.
When you're looking to add a pet into your life, consider adopting a homeless animal from your local shelter or rescue group. Whether you want a kitten, puppy, or a more mature pet, a purebred or a one-of-a-kind mixed breed, even a rabbit or hamster, your shelter has the best selection of animals anywhere, all screened for good health and behavior. PetLifeRadio.com presents Take Me Home with your host, Susan Daffron. Join us each week as we showcase wonderful pets, tell stories, and even throw some pet education into the mix. So get ready to find out why the pet adoption option can be a great way to add a furry companion into your life. Take Me Home every week on demand, only on PetLifeRadio.com.
Let's talk pets.
Let's talk pets
On Pet Life Radio.
Pet Life Radio.
PetLifeRadio.com. Oh Behave is back with more tail-wagging ways to achieve harmony in the household with your pets. Now, back to your fetching host, America's pet edutainer, Arden Moore.
Welcome back to the Oh Behave Show on Pet Life Radio. I'm your host, Arden Moore. We're chatting with Alysa Binder. She is the co-founder of Pet Airways. Very easy if you want to learn more. Just go to www.petairways.com. And the first flight took off July 14th from the Republic Airport in Long Island and made stops in Washington, the Baltimore area, Midway, and Chicago, and on Boulder in Colorado, and then in LA. In California, and they've been going back and forth ever since. Alysa, I wanted to ask you, let's talk a little bit about the routes. I know there's a lot of people from different parts of the country. I even hear from people like in Seattle and San Diego and Texas saying, hey, what's next? What's up? So what can you share with our listeners as far as the expansion plan?
Well, we do have an expansion plan. We hope to be in 25 cities in the next 2 years. So we're very aggressive about that. We're really listening to the pet community saying, hey, will you please come here? So, we can tweak and modify our expansion plan based on where the desire is. I mean, we know where the desire is and where we're planning on expanding. But it's not, if we're getting such an outcry in a certain area, we can absolutely move them up on the list. We're not ignoring any areas. We're just trying to, first priority is make sure that our flights are safe, comfortable, and really are at our level before we add additional flights, which we'll be doing in the very near future, and then additional cities.
Okay. I know that, who knows, Paducah, Kentucky may be your number one favorite demand city. You never know.
You never know. You never know. And you know what? Since I have to be on a plane all the time, and as you mentioned, and in different hotel rooms, I'm fine. I want to go see all these cities. So it gives me a chance to really get to know them and meet the people and see the United States and North America.
We're going to have to change your name to Rand McNally, right?
I always wanted to travel. I always wanted to see the United States. I didn't realize that it would be from hotel room to hotel room, but that's okay.
Yeah. Well, let's talk a little bit about the planes because I've been asked the same thing at different events, like what kind of plane are you talking about? And so briefly tell us so that the pet parents out there know what their dogs and cats are aboard.
Right. We picked Beechcraft 1900s, and they're turboprop planes. They're 19-person passenger planes, or as we say, 50-passenger planes.
Okay.
They're very dependable, reliable planes. They were the workhorses of I'm not saying most, a lot of commercial carriers. In fact, they are in some fleets, some commercial carriers today. So we picked them because, again, safety, dependability. So we basically take out all the inside human fittings, the seats, the overhead compartments, and we reconfigure it to put our passengers in. Now, we provide the pet carriers, so we then have the size and know the durability of them and can take care of them, and also to make it stress-free on the pet parent having to worry about, is my carrier acceptable? Is it the right size?
Right.
Is it this? I'm really trying to make it as stress-free as possible, again, for the pet parent and for our passengers. We reconfigure it to put the carriers on the plane and for the pet attendant to be able to walk up and down the aisle checking them every 15 minutes.
And there's quite a balancing act. That was one thing your hubby, Dan, taught me, was that weight and balance is very important in a plane to make sure it's flying at its most efficient ability. Absolutely. So when the plane's configured like any passenger plane, it's configured on, the load of the luggage, the load of the passengers. So the same thing applies to us. All the aviation requirements, all of the governmental regulations, they apply to us, and we are very stringent on making sure that we absolutely do everything that we're supposed to do. So we have a lot of rules and regulations overseeing us. Now, people are, one thing maybe we need to point out is that most of the time these planes are not landing at major hubs. So you're not jockeying for a position with a 747 landing, say, at LaGuardia. So how do you figure out where you're landing and so people can coordinate the pickup of their pets? Right. Well, we go to regional airports or smaller airports at all these locations, and we do it on purpose. I keep going back to safety, care, and comfort. We always are concerned about the safety of the pets, so we do smaller regional airports where the pets can get in and out quickly. The planes can, that we can pull them right up to our pet lounge, and then the pets are not sitting on tarmacs. They are not sitting waiting to take off. They get put right on the plane, and they go to the next destination. Also, for the pet parents, because of the pet lounges that are at these regional airports, they can just drive right up to our lounge like they would going to a vet or to a doggy daycare or whatever, and they walk right in. So it's not going through a terminal. It's not going through security. It's just really simple and as stress-free as possible, and that's why we picked regional airports. So we go from, like, as you mentioned, Republic, which is in Long Island, and then we fly to BWI, which is, believe it or not, the smallest airport in the Washington, D.C. area, which is Baltimore, Washington International. Then we go to Chicago Midway, again, a little bigger, but again, smaller than O'Hare.
Again, we have a place on the general aviation side where the pet parent can just come right to our lounge, and our plane goes right to our lounge. So we can let them out very quickly. And then we're up at Rocky Mountain, which is in Broomfield, Colorado, right outside of Denver. And then we go to Hawthorne Airport, which is about a mile and a half from LAX.
That's a perfect location for people flying into LA, right?
Absolutely. And that's why we picked it. And again, another very convenient and easy airport for the passengers and the pet parents.
So I have a dog, and I'm going to, say, LA from New York, and my flight either gets in late or earlier or whatever. What's happening to my dog en route, and then once the dog lands at the Hawthorne and the LA area?
Well, we ask that you drop off your pet 2 hours prior to flight. Or at least.
Okay.
If you need to do it before, we're open and we'll accommodate. If you need to drop your pet off a couple of days before, we do work with our pet lodging facilities, and we can lodge the pets. And then the same thing happens on the other end where you can pick up your pet. Our lounges are usually open 4 hours after the flight to be able to pick them up. And if you're not able to do that, then we'll take them over to the lodging facility and you could pick them up from there.
Okay.
So we try to be as accommodating as possible. For some reason you get delayed, there will always be somebody taking care of your pet, and we'll make sure that they're taken care of. They're not just going to be left going around a carousel waiting for you to pick them up.
That gives you a lot of peace of mind, because when you're a passenger in a plane, you don't have the control. You can't say, hey, excuse me, Captain, I really need you to get this plane over there because I got to pick up my dog. He's got all four legs crossed. He's practicing Kegels. I mean, really. So it seems like this is giving a little bit more of a peace of mind that hasn't ever been available before.
Absolutely, because if the pet parent isn't there, we take the pets for their walks, we feed them, we play with them, we give them water, so we're taking care of them even if you're not there. We will always check. So far, everything has been perfect. And as I can say, perfect.
I'd like to see the cat's face, big dilated pupil saying, I'm in this plane with these smelly dogs. But I wonder how, have you been getting a lot of cats, or what's the...
Oh, we've been getting a tremendous amount of cats, and it's been phenomenal for me because it's fun. Their personalities. They're completely different than dogs, and it's wonderful. So, yes, we've had a lot of cats, and everyone's getting along well. It seems like, we're running a good airship.
There you go. This sounds like you're like on Star Trek there, Starship Enterprise.
There you go.
Any unusual types of dogs or cats, or some of the, maybe if you can give us a weight variance and what you've had?
Oh, let's see. From Burmese mountain dogs, we've had a couple. Marley, I remember him very well.
Okay.
To, Chihuahuas and Yorkies.
Wow.
Coming our way. And all sized cats, from Mancoon to, what's the tiny one?
There's little ones. A Singapora is actually the smallest cat. And there's other itty-bitty...
Like the Munchkins.
Munchkins, yeah. But the Singapora, don't ask me why I know this feline trivia, but I do. That is the smallest breed of cat.
Okay, I learn something new every day. Thank you.
I know. I can't wait for that on Jeopardy, I want that to be the final Jeopardy question, and I'll bet the house.
Alex Trebek, here she is.
What about some of the special stories? Have you ever had a flight for more than one pet, like a Brady Bunch kind of arrangement, or any unusual circumstances that you were able to accommodate?
Oh, absolutely. We just had six pets from one family. They were relocating from LA to New York, 4 dogs and 2 cats, and a bunch of Chihuahuas in there as well. And it was just amazing. It was amazing. First of all, it was difficult for the pet parents because the whole family left. But they all just got along super well, all different personalities. And it was just nice to, have them all together. And we put them really close and sent them to New York, and they were happy on the other end. So reunited the family.
Wow.
To, happy stories where we've taken, Poppy the dog, who came from Afghanistan. A soldier adopted or found Poppy in Afghanistan and wanted him to come back to San Diego, Oceanside. and didn't have a way to get there. So we took Poppy from New York to LA to be reunited with the soldier, and we were quite excited about that. And
wow.
It was really, really very special. And we're planning on doing another one this week of another soldier's dog.
Okay, that sounds good. Now I know you have some alliances with some of the pet groups in the country. Is there a couple you want to give a shout out to or explain that?
Right. Well, Dan and I really believe in saving pets, and we don't believe in euthanizing pets. So we are really into pet rescue and adoption. So we have partnered with Best Friends to take dogs from different areas and cats, and so that they can get adopted throughout the United States and have an option to have a better home someplace else and more options. So we're quite excited about that, and we really, my joke to them is we want to put them out of business so that there are no more pets or animals out there that need to be adopted. So,
and you're speaking of the Best Friends Animal Sanctuary in Utah, correct?
That's correct, and Animal Society as well, yes. So they have a lot of legs, so you should check out bestfriends.com.
Okay, that
Great
sounds
organization.
Good. Now people are going to say, oh my gosh, how much is this going to cost me? Is it going to, do I have to start saving dog coupons or compare the prices of putting a pet on a commercial flight versus Pet Airways?
We are actually price comparable to flying them commercially, offering a completely different service. I mean, you actually get service with us. I mean, you get hands-on care, love, pet attendants watching them, caring for them, administering medication if necessary. I mean, we have a diabetic dog flying today. I mean, everybody knows about that. Everyone's aware throughout the route, who's coming through and what their needs are. So the service is a completely different service, very hands-on and very caring, and yet we're price comparable to the commercial carriers. So our fares start at $149 and go up from there.
And you're booked for a while, right?
We're booked for the next 2 months.
Wow.
Of flights. So we're hoping to add additional flights soon, but there is a great desire to fly on Pet Airways, and we are trying to accommodate everybody as quickly as possible, but to make sure that our standards stay the way that that we have set, and that's pretty high.
I think that's sort of a good sign if you're booked for 2 months for an idea that most people didn't think could come off the ground.
Yes. See, so you have to believe, and if you know in your heart it's right, you got to do things. And so we're really excited that we did, and quite pleased, and feel again humbled and excited that the pet community gets it and has been supportive of us and wants to use our service.
Okay. Well, before we say bye-bye, is there any other thing that you wanted to let the listeners know?
No, just check out, petairways.com. Let us know your feedback. Join our newsletter. You're going to know what's happening and what our expansion plans are, and we have a lot of them, and we just want to hear from people. And really means a lot, and we appreciate the support.
Well, I think you're doing a great job, and it's an idea that's truly taking off. I had to throw all those puns in there.
Right.
It's part of my mainframe, I guess. But I do want to, at this time, thank you, Alysa Binder, for being on the show, and the entire crew at Pet Airways for being our special guest and helping our pets travel in comfort with a lot of safety and care. I mean, those seem to be good hallmarks. At this time, also, I'd like to send a big paws up to my great producer, Mark Winter. He makes this show happen each and every week. And, of course, I want to thank all of you for tuning in. If you have any questions or comments or ideas for shows, just zip me off an email at arden@ardenmoore.com. And don't forget to sniff around the PetLifeRadio.com site to check out some of the other cool shows we have. And if you just can't get enough of Arden Moore, well, sign up for my free monthly e-newsletter. Just go to my main website, ardenmoore.com, and click on that big paw on the homepage for newsletters. Simple and easy. So, until next time, this is your flea-free host, Arden Moore, delivering just 2 words for all you 2, 3, and 4-leggers out there. Oh, behave!
Coast to coast and around the world, it's Oh Behave with Arden Moore. Find out why cats and dogs do the things they do, and get the latest buzz from wagging tongues and tails in Rin Tin Tinseltown. From famous pet experts and best-selling authors to television and movie stars, you'll get great tail-wagging pet tips and have a fur-flying fun time. All Behave with America's pet edutainer, Arden Moore. Every week on demand. This is the place for a special paparazzi treat. Only on PetLifeRadio.com.